Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and I am back today with yet another Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings box from Parabellum War Games. I can't seem to get enough of this. Now, I haven't actually gotten a chance to sit down and play the game yet because that would require me to paint everything of one army, and I just can't bring myself to paint the same model over and over and over and over again. But I keep buying every single box they come out with. What is wrong with me? I don't know. I know what's wrong with me. I really enjoy the models. I got to say that. And the quality of the plastic, while I was a bit dismayed with the overall sharpness and level of detail with the starter set, I got to say they have grown on me a lot. So these are the Vanguard Clones. Now, interestingly enough, the Vanguard Clones are like these funky ninja dudes that you can't really see because I don't really have it on the screen there. Like so, and the artwork always makes them look inherently cooler than the models themselves. So here you can see the boss dude with his funky beanie cap on, which just I don't really dig, but it is what it is. And you can see they have little dinky buckler shields and like cutlass ninja blades. So these are the Vanguard clones, but they also, if you notice right here, can be built as the Vanguard clone Infiltrators, which is really interesting because, as far as I know, the Infiltrators are actually their own unique box. Now, if you haven't built any of these Parabellum games models yet, they do have a QR code on each box to bring you up to the instructions online. Let's take a look at what we got. So we have a command sprue. And not that I know what that is, but it's something. You have your shimono or whatever they're called, the back flags, the standard, the boss sword, the boss head. Where's his little cap? He needs his cap. You've got your squad bases and bases that go inside them, kind of like what the other side did. We have two sets of cards. So yeah, the Vanguard clone Infiltrators actually have little hand crossbows, whereas the clones are fighting with swords and little dinky shields. So what do we got in terms of sprues today? We have two of the A sprue. Here's an A sprue. And lo and behold, you can see we've got those crossbows right there. So I want to say the only difference between the Infiltrators and the regular Vanguard clones is that crossbow or the shield. You can see there's a couple shields there. I have no idea how these guys are going to go together. It looks like we have the main bodies. Heads, various heads. Leaping legs. Actually, they look pretty simple compared to some of the other stuff. Interesting they have the two plugs. Maybe that's to help you match up which body goes with which. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's the A sprue. Let's take a look at the B sprue while we're at it, right? And shock of shocks, it's more of the same. Looking over the sprue composition, though, the pieces don't look like they're going to be as big of a pain to cut off as the marksman clones. Those were the biggest frustration and a whole lot of work cleaning up. That's one thing. If I got to complain and criticize the Parabellum stuff and maybe just to have them strive for a little bit more quality is to make sure that the models are maybe a little bit easier to cut off of the plastic gate sprues, because as it is, there's a lot of cleanup involved from where the sprue scars are when you snip them off with your clippers of choice. So I'm going to run over there, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to build a little bit of each just to see what the big difference is, and just because that's how I am. And I will be back in just a sec with them built, so sit tight. All right, let's check it out. We got a couple of the Vanguard Infiltrators all put together here in their goofy, silly poses. I don't know what this guy is doing. It looks like he's like backing up and is about to strike back or something. I don't know. So these are the basic, the close quarters versions. I like this guy as he's rushing forward. That is kind of a cool pose. And that is one of the advantages, I guess, of having the ball jointed limbs. There aren't a whole lot of options in terms of how they're holding the swords. It's either they are straight out like so, or they are bent at the elbow, and they all have very long limbs. Okay, so that's just one version of the box. Keep in mind, you can build them either as the Vanguard, or if you wanted, you can build them as the Infiltrators. And the Infiltrators are the John Woo-esque dual-wielding crossbow warrior dudes. And again, the poses may be a little bit weird, but they work. I only built a couple of these. But then I thought to myself, you know, what if I want to run them as one or the other? Why do I have to pick and decide? And he's got his little funky beanie on there. And I thought, you know what? Why not try building some as an in-between? That is a weird pose he's got going on there, but maybe he's like dashing and diving down as he's firing his crossbow there. I honestly don't know. They're just interesting, weird poses. And I hate to say, I don't know why I hate to say it, but I gotta say, they really have grown on me. I really am liking this, the weird general vibe that the Spire stuff gives off. It's just bizarre. It's not your usual fantasy army, and it's not like they're just trying to subvert the tropes that are already there. I mean, they've got pretty established lore, but the overall look and feel of the army is something different, and I really dig that. Grabbing a random generic 100 Kingdoms guy because I grabbed the wrong model. Got a regular man-at-arms there too, so you can see they definitely are longer, skinnier, and stranger looking than a regular human. Oh, that's right. We did bother to build up the boss leader. I didn't build the standard bearer yet, just because it seems silly. If these guys are supposed to be infiltrating and, you know, running forward and getting into the thick of things, why are they running around with a big giant flag to capture the opponent's attention? I do like his back banner, though, and his extra crusty armor. He also has a mouth on his shield that nobody else seems to have. Does have a special head, too, so he's kind of cool. And then I thought to myself, you know what, why don't I actually try painting one up? So I just did a quick, rough paint job. Whoa, as I knocked the camera over. In my eagerness to show him off, I guess. So I just went with a very boring ninja black and bone aesthetic. It doesn't match up with my actual regular drones, but I'm probably going to go back and redo some of my drones anyways and start making new batches of them. I could line it. You know what? I think this one was just a contrast black with some highlights on it, whereas this was actually a couple of different colors mixed together, and the shininess and glare of the camera is really not bringing that out, but it's there. Grabbing some humans that people are more accustomed to seeing. You know, to me, they're really giving me a Tyranid vibe. If you wanted to make these like some funky, weird crossbreed gene stealer stuff, I mean, it might actually work. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting idea. I'm kind of tempted now to hold off on finishing up the unit. I have a couple of bodies left, and seeing maybe giving them some Tyranid weapons or chaos weapons or something like that along those lines. It might be kind of fun and interesting to see what could be done with these. Another thing is they've got an interesting connection the way their legs snap together. Most of them have two pegs in the groin, and each pair actually has its own mate, so you can't really mix and match the poses unless you slice those off and, you know, get creative there. And then you got to pop the torso in. I was going to grab something else, and I don't remember what. I was just grabbing some other models to show off here. Comparison. I love that a Mantic Dwarf is the same size as a Frostgrave human. If you wanted to use them as some kind of weird Chaos Marauder types, I guess that might work too. But overall, they're just really different looking, and that's a good thing. And as I've said many times before, it just makes me even more eager for the really crazy, fun, bizarre stuff to start showing up for the Spires. And when it does, I can pretty much guarantee you will see it here on Obscurities and Miniatures. So with that said, keep your eyes peeled, because I'm sure we'll have more Conquest coming here as soon as I can get my grubby paws on it. This has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. Saying thanks for watching. We'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.